You have clicked on this video because you want to improve at Fortnite competitive in 2025, and I cannot blame you. There is millions of dollars of prize pool on the line, a much easier road to going pro with the new FNCS Division 1, 2, and 3 cups, as well as a much better solo cash cup format that rewards players for being skilled at the game and gives them the opportunity to make life-changing money. So in this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple steps to make 2025 your best year for Fortnite competitive already. If you guys don't know who I am, I've been coaching Fortnite since the very beginning, before the World Cup even started. I've worked with over a dozen individual FNCS winners, I've helped countless pro players reach that tier 1 status, and I've also worked with over 900 first time earners and helped them achieve their goals in Fortnite. I definitely know what I'm talking about when it comes to this topic, so here are the 5 steps that are really simple to follow if you want to improve in 2025. Step 1, focus. Let me give you guys an example of a player that I actually coach at the moment called Dime. Dime is trying to become the best IGL in trios. He's the leader of his team, he wants to go ahead and qualify for Division 1, he wants to be making it to those Division 1 finals so he can earn, get his PR up, and these are all good goals to have. However, he also wants to become the best fighter. He wants to improve his aim, his piece control, his mechanics, as well as make sure that he's being able to end fights instantly. And at the same time, he's trying to become the best solo player, qualifying top 600, winning games and finals, potentially making earnings. But the issue is he's not able to do all 3 of these different goals at the exact same time, and he's spreading himself too thin. What I'd really recommend you guys understand is that you cannot do everything at once. You're spreading yourself way too thin, and you're not having any specific focuses for what you need to achieve. What I would recommend is focus on what is most important to you. Do you want to become the best fighter, the best solo player, the best trio player, or would you rather go ahead and be average at all 3 of them, which is what Dime often tends to do? He's a very talented player, he's qualifying for finals, but he's not actually improving as fast as he could be because he's not focused. Step 2, achievable goals. Now, when I say achievable goals, don't just pick something that you'd like to achieve, because so many people make this mistake. They say, I want to go pro, I want to make $10,000 this year, I want to become a FNCS winner, and realistically, that is not achievable. Instead, what I want you guys to do is focus on a goal that you can hit within 6 months of consistent hard work. There's no point giving yourself a whole year to achieve something, because it's much better to set a lower goal, hit it within 6 months, and then remake that goal and make it a little bit harder for yourself. So let me give you an example. Most of you guys watching want to qualify for the solo cash cup finals. It's probably the best practice out there. It's going to massively bump up your chance of getting teammates, and of course you can earn in the final. However, the majority of you aren't even able to qualify top 600. So instead of focusing on going pro and making money from the finals, instead focus on just qualifying top 600 at least once within the upcoming maybe months or within the upcoming year. And I guarantee you, if you set that realistically achievable goal, it's going to have a much easier time of motivating yourself each week. And because you're working towards a specific goal, not just an overall goal like going pro, you're going to have a much easier time of actually achieving that, and it's going to really help with your motivation. Step 3, method, not results. Let me give you guys a quick example to explain what I mean by this. Imagine you spent all week improving your fighting. You spent an hour a day inside Raiders' new map. You did loads of 1v1s, loads of reload. You got some solo ranked in. You came up with a strategy to make sure you're winning every single one of your early and mid-game fights. And then in the cash cup, you actually managed to do this. You're playing really, really well. 280 points going into your last game. But unfortunately, you make one small mistake and you rotate and you die and you only get top 1000. Then the next week, you don't care at all. You got so annoyed that you spent the whole week grinding and you didn't manage to qualify. Then next week, you got annoyed that you didn't qualify last week, so you don't grind at all. You only hop on for a little bit of 1v1s, and that's basically it. You start late in the cup because you completely forgot it on and you weren't taking it too seriously. But luckily for you, you were low elo going into your last game. You managed to win it from a little bit of a fluke, maybe a lucky refresh or something, and you placed top 600 and you qualify out of the blue despite you not putting any work in that week. Which one of these weeks, the one where you're fully grinding but you don't qualify, compared to the one where you don't grind at all and you qualify, is actually better for your long-term improvement? And obviously the answer is it's the week we put loads of work in. You need to learn to separate the grind that you're putting in from the results you achieve, especially in the short term. Short term, you're not just going to improve within a couple weeks. It's going to take a long time for you to actually go ahead and make significant improvements to your gameplay. And usually short term is not correlated at all to the amount of work that you put in. Step 4, volume. No one in the history of Fortnite has ever qualified for a proper regions grand finals without first putting in lots and lots of volume and grinding for a long period of time. And I don't just mean a couple hundred hours. I mean thousands, if not tens of thousands of hours to actually get to the point where they can qualify. And you've got to remember, all of these top tier pros that you look up to, like the Peterbots, the Colds, the Vicos, they already have 10,000 hours of gameplay on the game, and they've all that experience built up and all that volume of playtime as well. This is a big misconception that people have, especially with my content. Just because I make a lot of videos about being optimal with your time, improving within, 1 hour a day, being efficient, learning the game from pros rather than trying to learn it for yourself, because that's obviously just going to take way longer. It still takes a long period of time, oftentimes years plus, to actually get extremely good and get to the the point where you can qualify. I think anybody within a very short period, like 6 months, can qualify for a solo finals, for example, but to actually get to the point where you're placing top 50 and earning consistently, that takes years of grinding. And I'm going to be the first one to admit it does take a lot of sacrifices with what you're doing. You can't just fluke becoming a pro player at this game. You need to put in the effort, and especially the volume over time. The reason why the same pros are able to qualify for FNCS over and over is because they have all of that experience, all of that volume built up in the past. So now when it comes to playing, they don't need to play that much compared to other players. Step 5, understanding plateaus. If you guys don't know what a plateau is, you're probably in one right now. A plateau is simply when you're not seeing any progress, you're not noticing your skill improving, and especially your tournament results might not be improving. And this is a really common thing that happens with beginner level players, intermediate level players, even a lot of pro players will have plateaus for years on end, and they don't understand why they're actually in a plateau. So let me explain it to the best of my ability with this graph. You are probably in something called the plateau of latent potential. So many people, when they start playing, they think this is what's going to happen. They think, okay, I'm going to play 100 hours this month and I'm going to place top 10k. Then next month, I'm going to be playing for a total of 200 hours and I'm going to place top 5k. Then the month after, I'm going to be playing for 3 months in a row. I'll have 300 hours of gameplay and now I'm going to be placing top 3k. And simply, that does not work. The amount of time that you put in does not correlate with your results in the short term. However, what oftentimes happens, especially in Fortnite, I've noticed, is people get this valley of disappointment where they put loads and loads of time in, but they don't notice the results. They don't get the results they want to straight away. And this can happen over the course of, months or years. Oftentimes over the course of 5 years, this can happen. The key thing though, is that you cannot stop grinding and putting the work in, making sure you're playing as much as possible. Otherwise, you're just going to fall off and you're not going to result in this final spike right here where you end up getting way better results than you think are even possible. The biggest trick to a pro's sudden improvement, think about how a couple pros, you might not have heard of them, and they suddenly have a pop-off year where they go ahead and massively improve. It's not just because they swapped up what they were doing in that period where they popped off. It's the result of all of this grinding, all of this work coming in. The latent potential that every player has ends up outpacing the results that they think they should be getting. It's the culmination of thousands of hours that you've put into the game, all paying off in a single tourney, rather than what you probably expect, which is every single tourney you should be improving. Oftentimes in Fortnite is never the case. This is actually really important. If you guys are at a plateau right now, you're not noticing any improvement in skill, understand that of course you're going to be disappointed. Of course you're not getting the results that you want. You need to keep putting the work in. You need to keep grinding, keep on being optimal with your time, keep on doing everything that I recommend in my videos inside the masterclass, what other pro players and other content creators out there recommend, because at some point in time, your results are going to go through the roof, where it's a culmination, literally everything just sort of merges and you end up playing extremely well in a specific tournament. You qualify, you get earnings, you make it to Division 1, and when that happens, you're on the absolute right track to go ahead and hit all of your goals in this game.